4-block Lil Mari has officially been sentenced for attempted murder after trying to rob a woman, but things didn't go the way he planned. During the incident, shots were fired, and Mari himself got hit. Reports say his condition was critical, and the situation has the whole city talking. Let's break down the whole situation surrounding his case. 4-block Lil Mari, sentenced for attempted murder. Lil Mari is a young rapper from Chicago who was once considered one of the city's most promising upcoming rappers. He began attracting attention for his lyrics and flows with his biggest song, OK, which has over 5.3 million views on YouTube. Many fans thought Lil Mari would be one of the few to make it out of the streets through his music. But lately, his name has been making headlines for various reasons, from getting backdoored to getting shot by a female. What started as music about the streets seems to have turned into real-life street situations. People who once saw him as just another young artist trying to chase his dream are now seeing a different side of him, maybe as the upcoming bloodhound Lil Jeff. Sadly, this path has led to a major turning point in his life, because once you are deep into the street, you are never making it out. According to reports, Lil Mari was recently sentenced for attempted after trying to rob a woman. She was approached by several people when gunfire broke out. During the robbery attempt, things took a deadly turn. Gunfire broke out, and Lil Mari ended up getting shot himself. Witnesses say the woman he tried to rob fought back, and shots were exchanged. Mari was hit multiple times and rushed to the hospital in critical condition. Police later confirmed that he survived the shooting, but his condition was serious, leaving many wondering if he'd survive. But luckily, he pulled through.
Other news now, police looking for suspects in a double shooting in broad daylight in the South Shore neighborhood. One of the victims, just 16 years old, happened around 10 a.m. in the 6700 block of Krieger. Investigators say a 34-year-old woman and the teen boy were outside when a car pulled up, the people inside opening fire on them. The teenager's in critical condition at University of Chicago Medical Center. The woman is expected to be okay.
All right, his girlfriend, 34-year-old, was shot in the leg one time in a green Dodge Challenger. Male black, gray jacket, gray pants. He was with 3 males. The victim has a weapon. She got into a shootout with the male. Happened at 6700 Clyde. The victim is armed. She knows the shooter. Not sure if the male was shot. And she's supposed to be at La Rabida in the parking lot.
312 info.
Go ahead.
I'm going to try to get a real name, but right now one of the offenders is going to be the rapper Lil Mari. I don't know if we got 300 David on the air or anything. I'll try to get a name and date of birth.
So one of the victims is Lil Mari, a rapper?
Offender.
One of the offenders. All right, 300.
For Lil Mari, and things aren't looking good for him. According to reports, the woman he allegedly tried to rob is a civilian, meaning she has no gang ties or street connections. She also legally owned her firearm and told police that she personally knows Lil Mari. Not only that, but she even told them she knew where he usually hangs out. That alone puts Lil Mari in a serious situation, since we believed he had recovered from his injuries or was still in recovery. Because if her story checks out, it means the police already have a direct witness who can identify him, claiming that she knows for sure that it was Mary who shot her. Now, here's where things get even more serious, because the crime involves attempted murder and the use of a firearm. Prosecutors could decide to try him as an adult. If that happens, he could be facing a very long sentence, possibly decades behind bars. According to reports, the evidence they've gathered so far, including shell casings, surveillance footage from nearby streets, and the woman's statement, all point toward Lil Mari being involved. If all of this turns out to be true, it could mean the end of his rap career before it even began. It's a sad situation because Lil Mari was just starting to gain attention in the Chicago drill scene. He had talent, energy, and a story that people could relate to. A young kid trying to make it out through music, but somewhere along the line, he seems to have gotten caught up in the same street life he was rapping about. Now, he might be fighting for his freedom too. At just 16 years old, Lil Mari's future is hanging by a thread, and depending on how this case unfolds, he might be facing more years in prison than he's even lived. Now, here's where things get even more serious, but because the crime involves attempted murder and the use of a firearm, prosecutors could decide to try him as an adult. If that happens, he could be facing a very long sentence, possibly decades behind bars. According to reports, the evidence they've gathered so far, including shell casings, surveillance footage from nearby streets, and the woman's statement, all point toward Lil Mari being involved. If all of this turns out to be true, it could mean the end of his rap career before it even began. It's a sad situation because Lil Mari was just starting to gain attention in the Chicago drill scene. He had talent, energy, and a story that people could relate to. A young kid trying to make it out through music, but somewhere along the line, he seems to have gotten caught up in the same street life he was rapping about. Now, he might be fighting for his freedom too. At just 16 years old, Lil Mari's future is hanging by a thread, and depending on how this case unfolds, he might be facing more years in prison than he's even lived. Let's break down the possibilities of Lil Mari staying in jail or waiting till he gets to adulthood. If truly Lil Mari ends up being sentenced for attempted murder, things could take a serious turn for the young rapper, possibly changing the entire course of his life before it even really begins. At just 16 years old, he's already facing one of the most serious charges in the legal system, and the consequences could be devastating depending on how the court decides to handle his case. The first thing the court will decide is whether to try him as a juvenile or as an adult. Normally, juveniles are treated with the idea of rehabilitation. The goal is to help them change rather than just punish them, but when it comes to violent crimes like attempted murder, especially when a firearm is involved, prosecutors often push for the case to be moved to adult court. If that happens, Lil Mari could be facing anywhere from 20 years to life in prison, depending on how severe the judge rules the case. If he's tried as a juvenile, things might be different. He could be placed in a youth detention facility until he turns 21, and then released under strict supervision. The court might also require therapy, educational programs, or counseling to help him reintegrate into society. But again, that outcome depends heavily on how the investigation unfolds, and whether the victim's testimony and other evidence confirm that he really did pull the trigger. From the way it seems, Lil Mari actually pulled the trigger, and it was because of that the woman retaliated, which got him shot. The fact that the woman survived makes the charge attempted murder, not murder. That's slightly less severe legally, but still a Class X felony in Illinois, which carries mandatory prison time if he's tried as an adult. And because the woman was a civilian, not a gang member or someone involved in street activity, that makes the situation worse in the eyes of the court judges, tend to show very little leniency in cases where innocent civilians get caught in violence. Now, there's also the question of Mari's physical condition. We don't know if he has recovered yet, but depending on his recovery, the trial might take months. However, it looks like he's better now because he wrote on his IG to deny the fact that he was shot in his nutsack. He said, "Man, y'all hear these niggas rapping at all this gangster kill drill shit and don't get caught up for shit. And swear to God they just killing if been not one bad thing happened to them fool like WTF. I missed the new update. They releasing the perfect street niggas now. But y'all gonna get mad at me for actually doing what I rap about for y'all ass fried 100%. PS didn't get shot in my nutsack IDK where TF y'all got TSF arm." His defense lawyer might argue that he's too young, that he didn't understand the consequences of his actions, or that the situation was more complicated than it appears. But even then, if the prosecutors have strong evidence, like shell casings, camera footage, or the victim's direct identification, it's going to be a tough fight. However, if he's lucky, or if his lawyer can negotiate a deal, he might get a reduced sentence, maybe with the chance for parole. Either way, this case will likely define his life for years to come, serving as yet another tragic reminder of how quickly things can go wrong when the streets take over your story. Mind you, Lil Mari has been deep into street going after ops, dissing his ops, and even getting backdoored by a young rapper, Lil Nooney. The backdoor situation. Words on the street would describe how the backdoor situation played out and the reason why. Based on speculations, Lil Mari had family ties to Walk Down Gang, WDG 117th, and WDG had a solid connection with 147, at least back then. Because of that relationship, Mari started thinking he was automatically cool with these sets. In his mind, being cool with WDG meant being cool with 147 too. But that's where things went wrong. The streets don't work that way. Just because your people got ties somewhere doesn't mean everyone there respects or trusts you the same way. From what's being said, Nooney and them from 147 didn't really see Mari as one of their own. They saw him as an outsider who got too comfortable, maybe even a little too friendly. People are saying they looked at him like a goofy person trying to fit in too quickly. That's when the situation allegedly turned for the worse. The story goes that Nooney and his guys tried to buy the car Mari was in, or possibly the pipe he had on him, and things escalated from there, leading to a backdoor situation. What makes it even crazier is that WDG had already warned Lil Mari about moving around too freely. They told him not to trust everyone, especially in the industry where people roll with you one day and set you up the next. But Mari didn't take that advice seriously. He hopped into the scene being too friendly, thinking everyone was cool. Unfortunately, that act might have cost him dearly. Now, what's confusing a lot of people is why 108th WWM or Rudeville had any kind of beef toward him in the first place. Mari didn't seem to have any direct issues with them, at least not publicly. And the craziest part, just less than 24 hours before the incident, Nooney was reportedly hanging out with Mari's cousin. That shows how unpredictable things can get in Chicago's streets. One day you're chilling with someone and the next day, everything flips. Lil Mari thought he was safe because of his connections, but in reality it's not. So it turns out Lil Mari wasn't really backdoored, he just got careless. He was already cool with the PGF gang, also known as Psycho Gang Family, a crew based in West Englewood on the south side of Chicago. Their main area is around 59th and Paulina, and they've been in a long-running war with the 147 gang. So when Mari started hanging around 147, it was already risky from the start. Then he started linking up with 147, but that's where things got messy. 147 has ties to the Wentworth mob, and Wentworth is connected with the 808 mob, both of which are known enemies of Rack City now. Lil Mari reps both Takedown Gang, TDG, and Rack City, two sets based out of the 4-block area. Their main territory stretches from 93rd and Eggleston Street to 94th and Emerald Avenue. That whole chain of connections means just because you're cool with one crew doesn't mean you're safe from the others. In Mari's case, being around 147 gave him a false sense of security. The truth is, the people he thought were his friends might have just been waiting for the right time to get at him. It's alleged that this backdoor happened because he made a song with Fully Chop, and because he rolls with everybody, including Lil Nooney's ops. They decided to jump on him. Lil Mari and Nooney's situation is a little complicated because, according to Nooney, he actually knew Lil Mari from way back in school. They grew up around each other, supported each other, and even used to hype each other up when it came to rap and gang life.
You got any music coming with 4-block Lil Mari or nah?
Me and brother don't be, we don't get out each other on the school type shit. We be getting out each other on like getting up on some gangster, you know.
Geeky from Folly later went on live to speak on Lil Mari's situation, saying there was nothing Mari could have done differently. According to him, Mari played his cards right and made it out alive. And the biggest mistake his ops made was letting him walk away breathing.
Hey, on some real shit, like, hey, I salute the little nigga 4-block Lil Mari, you hear me? I salute that little nigga. He ain't did nothing wrong, he did right. You know, like, if a nigga got you, it ain't shit you could do. You get what I'm saying? Play your card right, you feel me? Let them do them. You hear me? Even if they would have popped him or whatever the case may be, they made a mistake by leaving with Shorty alive. You feel me? Like, that was their biggest mistake. Y'all never supposed to put out the cameras and y'all was supposed to deal what y'all did. You feel me? But Shorty, I fuck with Shorty for that. You get what I'm saying? Tell him undeactivate his IG. Tell him he ain't got to feel like that. Like it happened to the best of us. If we caught, we caught. You feel me? It's about that get back. You feel me?
After the backdoor incident, Lil Mari jumped on IG saying he wasn't getting any sleep and was ready to make his ops feel the hurricane. Not long after, he posted a video flaunting a new pipe, making it clear he was gearing up for a get back. Lil Nooney would clap back on live, dissing Lil Mari, saying he didn't get back, that he just got another pipe. Nooney claimed he'd known Lil Mari since school and even beat him up on the bus, and also added that he watched Mari switch gangs.
I knew you since school. I out you on the school bus on Fast Old. And it's my thing. I knew you since school. On my auntie soul. On my auntie soul. I watched you switch games. Now let's talk about that. Let's talk about how before you was even from 94th, you was a vice lord from out west.
Lil Mari's hood later did a vlog on a Couch TV where they spoke on the whole backdoor situation. They mentioned how the ops were online, saying Mari's people needed to get back, but they also hinted that ever since the incident, a lot had already been happening behind the scenes. According to them, things had been going down steadily, even if the internet didn't see everything. Not long after all this, J. Dot from Rudeville, Wentworth Mob, and Chris from the same hood would end up getting shot. According to reports, 2 teenagers were hit on Chicago's south side after exchanging gunfire with another group of guys. The shooting happened near 11,306 South May Street, right around Ada Park territory. A 17-year-old male was shot in the right leg, and an 18-year-old was hit in the left leg. Both victims, identified as J. and Chris, were reportedly armed and seen on video running with guns in their hands while returning fire at a car that sped off southbound on May Street. Details are still unclear, but rumors claim J. was hit badly and didn't make it. Stank from 147 went live, calling out his ops, daring them to slide so they could see how he was going to get on them.
Y'all know how you play. Man, spin this bitch again. I'll turn on the sound. I'm not trying to talk about. Spin this bitch again, let you know how I'm coming. Last nigga came over when my dad gonna make it off the block and spin this bitch again. Fuck you, Tyler.
Lil Mari was not the only person backdoored by those he called his homies. It was rumored that J. was the one who backdoored Fat Drench. Fat Drench was originally from Rudeville, a crew known for beefing with NLMB and Shorty Mob, even going so far as to diss their dead members. That tension eventually caught up to him. He was later killed after reportedly being backdoored by his own hood, with people alleging that J. Hawcom, the same guy linked to the Lil Mari robbery, played a role in it. It seems like backdooring has become normalized in the streets, and Fat Drench's story shows just how dangerous that mindset is. He never expected his own homies to turn on him and get him gunned down, a situation similar to what Lil Mari faced, thinking he was safe around his friends without watching his back. Fat Drench was shot in an alley and is down for 2 hours because the shot spotter system failed to alert authorities in time. To return the favor, J. was hit. Right after that, Lil Mari and his homie 4 Block Lil Take made it clear they knew what went down. Both of them took to their Instagram stories, a song playing in the background as they held up 2 fingers, seemingly saying they got 2 for 1. Even though it was rumored that Lil Mari's ties with other gang dudes, like Fully Chop, played a role in his getting backdoored, the two had a history of conflicts. At one point, after Lil Mari was stripped and beaten to have his pipe taken, Fully Chop trolled him online by reposting the video on his Instagram.
Mari got back. They said they beat the Mario coins out of him. Dude said, take them drawers off.
The reason Fully Chop posted the incident on his IG is unclear, but it seems the two eventually squashed their beef, later showing the world that they ain't beefing. However, Fully Chop and Lil Nooney are into it. Fully Chop is affiliated with the PGF gang, whose 147 is their biggest ops. In the middle of the gang war, Kentrell Brown, aka Glock Boy Bobo, lost his best friend, Murdoch. Murdoch, whose real name was Leon Teague, was just walking his dog one night in West Englewood when everything changed. According to police reports, it happened around 1:47 a.m. in an alley near 5300 South Sealy Avenue. Suddenly, someone started shooting at Murdoch. When police arrived, they found him lying on the ground with multiple gunshot wounds. Sadly, Murdoch died right there at the scene. Murdoch was a known savage and allegedly had 10 bodies before his death. Mind you, Glock Boy Bobo will be allegedly connected to the murder of Sosa from the Art Gang, who is alleged to be the cousin of Fully Chop. LMG is a faction of Art Gang from West Englewood, controlling the area around 55th to 58th and Hermitage Avenue and 55th to 57th and South Wood Street. They are allied with PGF and M Block and are at war with 147, also known as Lock City, Damesville Blood Gang, and Winchester Boys, led by Glock Boy Bobo. Rumors say Sosa introduced Fully Chop to the street life. It's also believed that 147, specifically Glock Boy, was allegedly behind Sosa's death. According to rumors, the motive might have been the vlog where Fully Chop and his homies did with On a Couch TV, where they talked about Baby Doc, the little brother of Leon Teague, aka Murdoch. According to reports, Baby Doc was shot in the Englewood neighborhood on Chicago's South Side, sustaining a fatal gunshot to the eye. Paramedics tried to help, but he was pronounced dead at the scene. Incidents like this likely fueled the ongoing gang war between PGF and its affiliates and 147 and their allies. With all this chaos unfolding, Lil Mari found himself caught right in the middle. And with this recent news that he is going to be sentenced for attempted murder, we just hope he pulls out and gets back to his music. If you like this video, click on a video on either side to watch a video similar to this one.